This video will provide an overview of the Message Center. The Message Center allows physicians, physician learners, and nurse practitioners to review or sign telephone or verbal orders, documents, and results. It is divided into two main areas, the Inbox Summary and the Inbox Summary Workspace. Select an inbox item, for example, Orders to Approve, to display the contents on the Summary Workspace on the right. New items will appear with bold font. Double-click the item in the Summary Workspace to open it in a new tab. Let's review how to work with the Orders folder. It contains Orders to Approve and cosign orders. Orders for approval are telephone, verbal, or communication to physician orders. When the clinician enters the order within the health record, they select the physician to route the order to. Then upon signature, the order routes directly to that physician's message center and to the orders page of the patient record. The order will be in an ordered status and will have a caduceus icon next to it to indicate it has not been co-signed. Similarly, cosign orders are med student orders that have been routed for co-signature, and a communication to physician order is a non-urgent communication to a physician that's also been routed for co-signature. To cosign or approve an order, double-click the order from the Summary Workspace. Review the order details. The action is already defaulted to approve in the action pane, so simply click OK and Next. This will remove it from your message center and remove the caduceus icon from the orders page. You can forward orders without signing them by clicking the Forward Only button. This is useful when an order was sent to you in error. In the window that opens, type the clinician's last name first or click on the binoculars. Select the appropriate clinician if you are presented with a list. Enter any comments as needed and then click OK. You'll return to your message center where you can click Next to move to the next message. The ability to refuse an order exists, but should be used as a last resort. An example of this could include that you are not the patient's physician and you are not sure who to forward the order to. To refuse the order, select Refuse from the action pane. You must indicate a reason for refusing it, and you can add an optional comment. It is important to then contact the patient location and tell the nurse it is refused, or address the order personally, as refusing the order does not cancel or discontinue it. It simply adds a red exclamation mark next to that caduceus icon on the orders page. If you do refuse the order, it is recommended that you open the patient's record to the orders page and modify or discontinue the order personally. Quickly open the patient's chart directly to the orders page by clicking on the little delta icon next to the patient's name above your message center. You can manage the order from the orders page here. Communication to physician orders may also display in the subfolder. These are non-urgent messages from another clinician. Never refuse a communication to physician order, as approving them simply acknowledges that you have read the communication. From there, you will either action the order or not, depending on your decision. As mentioned, cosign orders are orders for co-signature from a medical student, so you will only see this folder in your message center if you currently have a medical student. When medical students place orders, they are placed in an on-hold status until co-signed by their preceptoring physician. You co-sign medical student orders the same way you do for orders to approve. Once co-signed, the order status changes from an on-hold to ordered. Refusing med student orders works a little differently than telephone or verbal orders. When you refuse a med student order, a notification is sent to your med student's message center, and from there the med student can forward the order from the chart. You can also void the order instead of refusing it. This might be helpful if your med student is no longer working with you or to save time. To void it, simply right-click the order from your message center and select Void from the list. Next, we will review working with the results folder. Some physicians and nurse practitioners choose to become results to endorse clinicians. This means electronic lab and DI results will route to your message center where you are listed as the ordering clinician. Inpatient and outpatient results will route, and the paper results will still print. Results can be endorsed, signed, reviewed, refused, or forwarded to another clinician. Normal results will display in blue font, and abnormal and critical will display in red. You can also trend results from your message center by clicking Trend from within the result. It will appear to the far right. Results to be endorsed are defaulted to endorse in the action pane, and clicking OK or OK and Next will endorse the result. You can also forward a result without endorsing it by selecting Forward Only from the top of the item, or endorse it and forward it by using the forward action from within the action pane below. You cannot forward a result to a clinician who has not chosen to be results to endorse. The Documents folders contain documents that need to be signed or reviewed, as well as documents forwarded to you for signature from another clinician. A good example of this are your dictations for verification. Select the Modify icon to make edits or add addendums to the note. When the Modify window opens, you will either be able to add an addendum to already signed documents or change the body of the note to unverified documents. Then click Sign to make those changes or additions. If there are no edits or additions, click OK and Next. Next, we will review work items. Within work items, you will find 3 folders: Saved Documents, Documents to Dictate, and Paper-Based Documents. Saved documents are documents that the physician has saved but not signed in the chart, like a progress note or a power note. A sign action is required for these and can be performed from this folder. You can also add to the document if you have not finished it by clicking on the Modify icon. Documents to dictate are reminders to the physician to dictate a document. The reminder will be removed from your message center when the dictation is transcribed and interfaced with the chart for signature. Paper-based documents are populated and completed by medical records. In most cases, the physician needs to physically go to medical records to sign the document. For these instances, no action is required within the message center. Once signature in medical records occurs, they will remove the paper-based document from your message center. An exception to this is the discharge order needed electronically message. This indicates a patient was discharged from the acute care without the discharge order. To enter the discharge order on the correct encounter, you need to follow the following steps. Right-click on the message and select Open Patient Chart. This is the crucial piece to navigate to the correct encounter. Then click Orders from the list. The chart will open automatically to the Orders page. Click the Add button. You will be presented with an alert telling you you're placing orders on a discharged encounter. For this instance, it is acceptable to click OK and continue placing your order. Type discharge in the search field of the Add Order window. Select the discharge order. It is important to backdate the date and time for the discharge order. You will find this in the banner bar above. Enter the appropriate date and time in the calendar and date field. assign the order. You can then close the chart and return back to your message center. It is important to remember to tell medical records you have completed the deficiency so they can remove it from your message center. This concludes the training video for Message Center. Please proceed to the next training video in this training series.